Today on One, your daily dose of local affairs and social media commentary.
Today on One, Gengop's remote address angers opposition. Godly marriages can save our society, says NMC. EU strengthens visibility for development cooperation with Namibia. And Namibia Paralympic Committee wants to improve rankings at Tokyo 2020.
Members of the opposition walked out of parliament this afternoon in protest of President Gengop's virtual address, with the stage set for a routine presidential address and heavy police presence, including officials from the State House. A pre-recorded video was played in the chambers. What was supposed to be a normal parliament opening session soon turned chaotic after the Speaker of the National Assembly announced that the President will address the august House not from the chambers but remotely. The pre-recorded speech angered members of the opposition, with McHenry Vanani taking the floor to describe it as a national embarrassment.
The President, and by extension the Speaker of the Parliament, made a mockery of the parliamentary session today, because the President ought to be here in person and to give us the speech that we ought to digest, analyze and take forward. But what has happened is a sign of cowardice. All of us are here from the opposition parties and including the ruling parties. We have been following, wearing the mask, having social distancing as we are seated in Parliament. So I did not see a reason that the President must stay away, because he normally sits far away, even from his colleagues, and he is reading from the podium. So I think this is a sign that President Hage Geingob has decided and has assumed to say that he is accepting all the fault lines about the fish rock. He is in fact guilty by association, even by running away from facing the people that elected him and to speak to the nation directly from the parliament chambers.
We was waiting the President in the chamber. He never come. He's scared. We know he's scared, because we was having a lot of questions to ask him before he opened the parliament, but he never come. We're having a problem with Namibia. This President, his family, he tried to close down the airline, national airline, with his family. He having this challenge. Challenge is a company owning by his wife, and this company, he looting this government each and every month. They're looting. Now, this was one of the questions. Number two is a fish rod. We want the President to apologize for the Namibian people, because they were saying they are not involved in a fish rod scandal. But later on, his lawyer, Sisa Namanje, tell everything that the President is involved. Boss of the boss is his name.
However, members of the ruling party, including the Deputy Speaker Loide Kasingo, said the session went as expected and the President does not need to inform the opposition of his decisions.
There is no need to communicate to them, because as the Speaker has stated, he has got the discretion in terms of Rule 124. Rule 124 give the power to the presiding officer to decide things, among others, like the decision that the head of state can address us virtually. There is no need really here to say the official opposition was not consulted. It just went well. Actually the head of state has opened virtually the parliament, and it was okay. It just went well.
The opening of Parliament went really well. The President, in his speech, Dr. Hage Geingob, His Excellency, really highlighted the role in which Parliament continues to be a catalyst for change, not only in the legislation area, but in shaping the way society functions. He also repeated his message of that this year is a year of resilience, and even in times like this, we should endeavor to continue ensuring that we serve the nation well and that we're able to do the best of our ability, even in troubling times as this. So the opening of Parliament really started off a very good note, and we're excited for the rest of the year.
Another opposition member also differed with the others.
Bottom line is that the Parliament has officially been opened, and let's start working. There's nothing wrong. The people has elected us to bring the bread for them on the table, not for us to fight in the parliament. The fighting is over. We must come together in peace as one Namibia and to build one nation.
Despite the fact that members of the opposition expected to engage the head of state on burning issues, interactions are more common during the State of the Nation address, which will take place in 2 months' time.
Every morning I leave home not knowing if it's the last time I say goodbye to my mommy. On my way to school, I see a lot of drivers who do not follow the rules of the road. Some are distracted and others make poor choices that could take my life. I stop, I look, I listen before crossing, and even encourage my friends to do the same. But do you know that if you hit me at more than 60 kilometers per hour, there is a 80% chance I don't survive. I only stand a chance if you, the driver, drives at the right speed, which is less than 40 kilometers per hour around the school area. Do the right thing and save lives.
This message was brought to you by the National Road Safety Council.
The Namibia Marriage Council believes that marriage is the foundation of any prosperous society and is on a mission to advocate for godly marriages in Namibia. The organization's regional coordinator, in an exclusive interview of Today on One, stated that fathers are the foundations of their families and that parents should be present in their children's lives.
Because you are finding people that the people are getting married, are going for a covenant marriage. And when they want to break the marriage, they are going to a civil court. How does this thing stick together? Because then that translates to the fact that you as you started, you did not understand what you were actually subscribing to. If you subscribe to a covenant marriage, address the issues through the covenant marriage. If you are prescribed to a civil marriage, address the things through the civil court. If you prescribed to a customary marriage, address it under the customary, within that confines of that particular traditional, court.
Namibia Marriage Council Regional Coordinator said that fathers are not just the head of the house, but also the foundation, adding that the strength of the family in society will partly depend on the father's role.
You are supposed to be a role model. When you are called as a father, what does it mean to be a father? Sometimes we got this notion wrong to say that, when you are called a father, you are called the head of a family, you think that you are the head. But that concept is wrong. The right way is that as a father or as a head of the house, you are not the head, but you are the foundation. When they build the house, they don't start from the roof, they start from the foundation. The foundation, the strength of the house will depend on the strength of the foundation. If the foundation was not properly built, that house will tend to crack, or even worse, it will fall down. So it depends on the foundation. And in this case, what the enlightenment that we are bringing is to say, the father, or the father is the head, is the foundation of the house. And how do you make sure that that foundation is strong? The foundation can only be strong depending on the information and the knowledge that foundation has been.
Situka further added that parents should aim to be present in their children's lives and be able to talk to them about difficult issues. He also stated that parents should stop giving their kids gadgets and rather spend time with them.
Because once you are trained in the right info, as a father, as a mother, you will know what to look for in your children. How do you see that my child is behaving abnormally? Because these certain things, it does not start just like that. Even when a child starts indulging in things like alcohol and drugs, or is indulging in unprotected sex, you will notice as a parent, if you are a very attentive parent, and you are a present, you are always present, because sometimes I want to explain that. There's a present and there's also absentee parents. You can be at home with your children, but you are an absentee parent. You are an absentee father. Some parents, tend to substitute maybe gadgets. You buy your child an expensive iPad or so just to keep him busy, and while you are somewhere else. That is not effective parenting. Effective
effective parenting that we are talking about is for you to be present. Because it does not mean that, no, I live with my children, then automatically translate that you are present in your children's life. And this is the danger that we are seeing, that the parents are always absent from the children's life, although they are living together. This child will grow up and, grow up not knowing the father, although the father was at home. The child will grow up not knowing the father, although the mother was at home. And then all of a sudden these people in the same house are strangers, and you find yourself one day you are called that this is what your child did.
The NMC focuses on different categories, namely people who are in courtship, widows, orphans, and for those that are already married.
Win free airtime with One Africa TV. Share your comments on the channel. WhatsApp your feedback, name and town to 081 200 6659. One Africa TV. It just gets better.
The delegation of the European Union to Namibia has strengthened its visibility for development cooperation with Namibia by launching a new documentary film that will air on One Africa Television this week. The objective of the new documentary film is to create a better understanding about the delegation of the EU to Namibia, its various facilities and institutions, and most importantly, the cooperation programs between the EU together with its member states and Namibia. At the launch, attended by various ambassadors of the EU member states in Namibia, Sinika Antila, the EU ambassador to Namibia, presented an overview of the EU's mission and cooperation programs in Namibia.
Namibia receives at the moment development assistance from the 11th European Development Fund, but also benefits of many other financial instruments such as European Investment Bank, other European development finance institutions. Every European country have their own development finance institutions. Here in Namibia are present KfW from Germany and AFD from France, but also others are looking into Namibia. Then we have regional programs like EU SADC programs. We have thematic budget lines and calls for proposals like the European Instrument for Democracy and Human Rights, and many more. In this regard, we thought that it would be helpful to produce a video that depicts the main pillars of the EU's role internationally, regionally, and here in Namibia.
The media has always been an important stakeholder in mobilizing the international and local communities to discuss, promote and monitor the EU's cooperation efforts in Namibia. Taleni Shimopileni, the executive director of One Africa Television, emphasized on the power and benefits of using video and audio for storytelling.
We are very, very delighted to have partnered with the EU on this project. We believe in people, whoever, reading, but we also know the power of the audiovisual medium and sharing a story through the audiovisual medium.
The documentary film will air on One Africa TV daily from Tuesday the 9th of February to Thursday 11th of February 2020 at 10 minutes to 9 in the evening.
Together we are stronger.
I am an original.
There's nobody
like me. I'm Robin, and my confidence is perfect fitting lingerie.
I am Marsha, and my confidence is being exactly who I am.
I'm Theodora, and my confidence is knowing my worth.
It's time to love your underwear, to love yourself.
Namibia's para-athletes have been hard at work as they prepare for the 2020 Summer Paralympics taking place from the 24th of August until the 5th of September 2021 in Tokyo, Japan. Namibia's Paralympics Committee Secretary General and Coach Michael Hamukwaya said that the postponement of the Para Games last year due to the COVID-19 epidemic has been an advantage for the team as it gave them more time to prepare for the Games.
Basically, it haven't been an easy ride. As everybody knows, the Olympic was just postponed last year, and we already had plans on according and teams already ready to roll and go play. But you know, as the epidemic hit all of us in March, everything just changed. But then for us as Namibia, it was also a kind of, you know, a blessing in disguise, because it gave us more time at least to help our athletes and to have more athletes preparing and even having more athletes qualifying. We've been actually having a very good understanding with Athletic Namibia, where they are having their different countrywide Grand Prix, especially for athletic, where our athletes, with our para-athletes, especially those who have qualified, can actually take part in those Grand Prix, and their time being recognized for their ranking also towards, and it's also good for their preparation towards the games itself. So that is the one part that we are doing, but at the same time we are looking forward to give them at least 1 or 2 international events. We just want to give them a bit of, you know, age and international exposure, just to compete against counterpart of the same class. And then after that we are planning to have some events in South Africa, just where we can fine-tune, and at least by the end of the day we know we have a well-prepared team which can compete against the world.
Hamukwaya, however, expressed his disappointment towards the lack of support that the para-athletes have been receiving despite being one of the best performing sports nationally.
We are really struggling even to do development. So we are just urging even from government, sport commission, just to increase a bit of our budget. And that will really help us, because even we are not only lacking, as I say, on equipment at the end of the day, we are still lacking also human resource, and even, you know, facilities wise, it's so difficult and they are so expensive here to hire. So it's been very, very challenging. But we've been going through, trying with all those challenges to keep them afloat, but it's not easy, and I believe it's not fair compared to the able-bodied sport, the way much money is given. And I believe these guys, they really deserve better, because they've been marketing this country Olympic after Olympic. We are talking about 2008, 2012, 2016 medalists and on podium. So I believe it will just be fair if equal distribution of funds is also distributed towards disability sport through Namibian Paralympic Committee. Our preparation having been so very, very good, but our aim, and that was our goals, we're still working on it, because it's our strategic goal, where our main goal was to make sure that Paralympic Namibia win at least 6 medals, and out of those 6 medals, we at least get 2 gold. But that was now better from what we did in Rio. We wanted to improve on that, and also improve the ranking of Namibia, because we've been mainly around, the last Olympic, we were actually ranked 47. So this time, especially from Paralympic side, so this time we're at least looking to be in the top 30, you know, in the world.
The SG and coach further urged Namibians to assist in exposing the disabled athletes by inviting them to different training sessions in different sport codes, as according to him, discrimination against the disabled is still an issue that needs to be addressed.
In other leading stories, to recognize accomplishments of the transformation agenda in the financial sector, the Bank of Namibia hosted an event under the theme Celebrating Female Leadership in Banking. Transformation of the Namibian financial sector as advocated for by the Namibia Financial Sector Strategy 2011-2021 and the Voluntary Financial Sector Charter calls for the localization of the sector. In this context, localization refers to ensuring increased local ownership, skills development and decision-making capacity of institutions. This includes representation or participation of Namibian citizens in the control and management structures of the institution, for example, board of directors, executive management and other decision-making structures. Currently, 4 out of the top 5 commercial banks in Namibia now have female managing directors. These are Ms. Baroness Hans, the Managing Director for Bank Windhoek, Ms. Esther Kali, the Chief Executive Officer for Letshego Namibia, Ms. Marta Murarua, the Managing Director for Nedbank Namibia, and the recent appointment of Ms. Mercia Gaises as the new Chief Executive Officer Designate of Standard Bank Namibia. And the Development Bank of Namibia has announced that it is undertaking visits in the central and northern regions of Namibia to promote its recently launched COVID-19 business relief loans as well as finance for youth enterprises. The 450 million Namibia dollars relief facility, provided with the support of a concessional loan from KfW, aims to support existing businesses with operating capital for a period of 3 or 6 months, depending on their needs. The finance takes the form of a commercial loan, repayable over 60 months. The visits will also promote finance for youth in the form of skills-based lending for professionals and artisans, as well as general lending for youth entrepreneurs under DPN's SME and larger lending facilities. In addition to business meetings, the bank will meet with the regional dignitaries to assess projects and associated needs for finance. The visits will also promote finance for youth in the form of skills-based lending for professionals and artisans, as well as general lending for youth entrepreneurs under DPN's SME and larger lending facilities. In addition to business meetings, the bank will meet with the regional dignitaries to assess projects and associated needs for finance.
Welcome to Comments Corner, your daily dose of local comments from the hottest social media pages. The Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, in response to schools still demanding parents to buy stationeries, despite the government's education grants, clarified that schools are not allowed to force parents to buy stationery. However, parents are expected to contribute the most basic learning necessities to complement government's efforts. Government currently pays $200 to $300 million per learner to state schools. Loretta said, for what is the $200 to $300 million if parents buy everything, including the cleaning materials? Chase said, when government introduced the free education system, how could it not have prepared for times of uncertainty? KB said every year parents are forced to buy stationery because the schools are sending them letters. Karembera said pre-primary schools are making parents to buy stationery that is then kept at the school. Learners at Jan Moore Secondary School held a peaceful demonstration last week after a male teacher was accused of raping a learner. According to the learners, the teacher has been accused of rape in the past. Sharifa said the Ministry of Education is to blame since they have been aware of the incident. Alice said the teacher has brought shame upon the school. Werner said the principal reported the matter to the ministry, which should then suspend him until investigations are done. Michael said the teacher was supposed to be a trusted educator, but now is facing serious accusation. Michael said the teacher was supposed to be a trusted educator, but now is facing serious allegations. Insagi said that he likes the response from the school principal. And that is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day only on DN1.
I'm feeling so bad because of I have been arrested. We are trying to sell to provide our kids with food, but the police, they come to arrest us.
I was literally apprehended in Independence Avenue. I mean, there was no prior communications with the police or with Bonn or Benga Namibia. These guys literally just apprehended us on surprise.
And when you are talking in a manner that is exaggerated about brutality in this country, I should ask you in which country you live.
Yes, I can confirm that indeed there were 2 cell phones that were found after a search was conducted at the cells that the fish rot accused are staying.
Do you understand the amount of money that the government has spent on the fight against COVID-19? Could they have spent 300 million on tracing people and managing people? Is that even possible?
Win free airtime with hashtag #LearnOn1. Share your comments on the lessons. SMS your feedback, name and town to 555. Hashtag #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
A look at the weather forecast. First, an advisory from the Windhoek Met Office. Heavy falls are expected this week in the northern regions, so please to take the necessary precautions. The Namibia interior partly cloudy and hot to very hot with isolated to scattered thunder showers, but few thunder showers in the south, Khomas and Omaheke regions. The coast partly cloudy and cool to warm with showers over the central and northern coast, and the wind moderate northwesterly to southwesterly. Now we look at minimum and maximum temperatures across the country and beyond.
Yeah, cause you woman no like me. Yeah, do what you know. Inga she wushi, she wushi me bro. Pida kute kuligega, you know what I mean? Stay focused. Oyalo kuchua kuchondi na poche. Yalo kuchiwa kuchotandi stopa. Again, amigani stopa nando dino kupikika polimwe. Again, amondi no kula difa, engalo tili no fantifa. Again, nongo no peni kucha mondi no kwetelele, she text me. Again, nani, maisha ndishi ranje. Olengo una anditi ranje. Olengo una cha, anti manu tamu.